Afternoon, guys. Afternoon to you all out there. Um, Interesting, wasn't it? The video I put up yesterday referenced Hakeem Ziyech, and it does. Just reading the comments, seem to split opinion. A lot of you guys out there kind of want to see him gone. I get that, obviously, but it is rather interesting that he's kind of very similar to Mason Mount, isn't it? And I think with a lot of our players, and I just think for me, we've forgotten how good these players are. It's just you just got to tune them into Channel 4. That's the thing, But I want to bring you a few bits and pieces that are in the news right now. This is an interesting extract, and I'm going to read it out to you. It's Football 365, and it's written by a guy called Will Ford. Today he put it out there this morning, and he said Todd Boehly might need to spend £1 billion to turn Chelsea back into champions. Interesting. The Chelsea rebuild is already breaking records, and Todd Boehly and Clearlake still look a long way off financing a title-winning team. So he says, imagine trying to spend 1.6 million every day for 240 days in a row. Rightmove would turn into Tinder. You could fund daily trips into space on Virgin Galactic for families of 4. You could settle Conservative Party chair tax bills in 2 days, or buy a mid-range private Caribbean island in 4. Todd Boehly has spent £1.6 million per day on new players since he became Chelsea's new owner. 407 million in 240 days. No football club in history of the game has spent more money on transfers in a season. In less than a year, the new ownership group at Chelsea has forced UEFA to change its FFP rules. And with that summer constraint in mind, within a week, Boehly and Clearlake's outlay per day could be well over 2 million. Truth is, it looks as though quite a big chunk of the money spent already has been wasted. The club are already reportedly selling or willing to listen to offers for £50 million Raheem Sterling and £33 million Kalidou Koulibaly, while he may as well add the 12 million spent on Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang to Thomas Tuchel's £13 million payout. The jury is very much still out on £72 million Wesley Fofana and £60 million Mark Cucurella. Well, that is true. And I suppose if you added, and I know it was the previous regime, okay, Romelu Lukaku, which is almost 100 million, yeah, you kind of get it, you may remember in June last year, some Manchester United fans secretly filming club CEO Richard Arnold as he buddied up to them in a bar and opened up on the fucking nightmare, quote unquote, that had befallen the club. Arnold, whose own grubby mitts were all over the mess, but was attempting to shirk the blame, said that they had fucking burned through cash by spending $1 billion in a decade post Sir Alex Ferguson. Well, just to put that into perspective, that's child's play to Boehly and Clearlake, who are on course to wipe the floor with the Glazers in the cash-burning stakes. And considering how they've spent their money so far, that's probably what's required to turn Chelsea back into Premier League champions. Every new signing at Chelsea is greeted with updated squad depth graphics on social media, with every member of the squad displayed in a 4-2-3-1. Now, with close to 3 players per position. But it's a squad that flatters to deceive. Many of those players will be leaving in the summer, either at the end of their contracts or because of new competition that's effectively forcing them out. Some of the younger signings, Andre Santos, David Fofana and Gabriel Solina, will likely leave on loan. And if we're to judge, perhaps unfairly, in brackets, on what's happened to the loan army before, they may never play for Chelsea again. Feasibly, this is the squad Chelsea could be left with at the start of the season. Just to give you an idea, guys, they go with Kepa and Mendy in goal, James obviously on the right, Silva and Chalobah, Fofana and Bashile as the centre halves, Cucurella, Chilwell and Hall as left back, Gallagher, Kovacic, Mount and Chuameka in the middle, Madueke on the right flank, Mudryk on the left, and Cuckoo or Havertz down the centre. Of course, there's quite a few players there that aren't involved in that, and they have tossed, I'll see, N'Golo Kante into that. It says here, this is the worst case scenario, or rather the greatest possible clearing of the decks, and it's too early to rule some of the absent players out. Graham Potter hasn't had much of a chance to work with many of them. Christian Pulisic was showing some sign of improvement before he got injured and could finally realise his potential. N'Golo Kante is yet to play under the new manager, and it's claimed he's in talks to extend his contract in any case. And although there are rumours of early exits for Sterling and Koulibaly, they are just rumours. But even if Cesar Azpilicueta stays, Chelsea need a right back. Even if N'Golo Kante stays, they need a central midfielder, possibly two. And even if Armando Broja stays, they need a striker. That's 3 signings they need minimum before you consider the 50-50 outgoings and upgrades. So that's 100 million for the top of the range striker, 100 million on a central midfielder, let's say 50 million on a right back. Kepa Arrizabalaga has markedly improved, but is he a Premier League winning goalkeeper? Well, that's what I said. I don't think he is, and I don't think Mendy is either. So that's at least another 50 million. Thiago Silva will need replacing at some point. Well, that's true, although by the sounds of it, he's going to do another year's contract, 39 years of age. I mean, he is like Robocop, isn't he? Let's have it right. He's incredible. You compare him, yeah, and then compare him to like Christian Pulisic, like the gingerbread man. It's chalk and cheese, isn't it? Like, you know. So he says Thiago Silva will need replacing at some point, which is true, presumably relatively soon. And anyone close to his level will cost at least 100 million. So that's 400 million without being outlandish. Of course, they could just spend the money more wisely, although no one's told Chelsea. It is possible to sign 5 quality players for 200 million. Arsenal bought Thomas Partey, Martin Odegaard, Aaron Ramsdale and Zinchenko and Gabriel Jesus for just 175 million. And actually, with a manager in Potter renowned for improving players, that would be the smart strategy. But interest in Moises Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez suggests that the current method of targeting the obvious and overpaying for them looks set to continue if the new FFP's rules allow. Well, how I understand it, unless someone can tell me differently, that we can kind of bypass that new ruling if we do the business in the next 5-6 days in this particular window. I don't think it kicks in until the summer. So it goes on to say 407 million could become 1 billion all too easily. Well, it's not really a lot that you can argue with that, is there? See, I'm a great believer. I think a lot of our players are decent anyway. I mean, they were good enough to win the Champions League, good enough to be in both domestic cup finals. I just think that it's amazing how things can turn really negative from a positive. I just don't get it myself, guys, because these were quality players prior. And we have been unlucky with injuries, etc. And of course, no one can take away from us all the ramifications of the wiping out of the entire everyone connected to the club, including, of course, Thomas Tuchel. Okay, so apparently Everton's Amadou Onana has turned down a move to Chelsea. He's hinting at going to Arsenal, to be fair. And there's also a lot of news going on about Declan Rice saying that he's kind of given a gentleman's agreement to him. And Arsenal think that they've stolen their man on us, on Chelsea. And without going over old ground, guys, I honestly do think that maybe Declan Rice is looking at the whole situation going on with Mason Mount right now, and perhaps looking at him going, I don't know if I fancy that one. You know, if they're going to treat like Mount that way, and they're going to stall on giving him the right sort of dough that he deserves, you know. Maybe they're looking at it that way, and who's to say that maybe the bigger picture is that Mount's pretty unsettled. And I know there's a lot of this talk about Liverpool. I can't see that happening, but if they got big money for Mount, would they cash in? Yeah, there's talk also about Kai Havertz as well, and I just think that's a little bit premature. I just think we need to get back to basics. We need to get back to... I do think this has a lot to do with a high quality manager, yeah? As I'm sure we've got enough talent, even right now, to challenge. That's my take on it anyway, you know what I mean? But apart from that, guys, let's just have a quick look. Chelsea fans go wild with their special January signing, Andreas Santos, after his Brazilian goal. What a talent we have. Chelsea fans go wild for their special January signing, Andre Santos, after the Brazilian wonder kid scored his third goal in 3 games at the South American Under-20s Championship. There you go, guys. I mean, look, we have got some talent there, like, you know. Interesting, this one here, the Chronicle Live, was Newcastle be affected by new FFP change triggered by Chelsea, but club have a different policy. Transfer Tavern, which is just a few hours back, Moises Caicedo is extremely keen to join. The Sun with Graham Potter set to axe 3 top stars. No doubt that's the 3 we've mentioned. No, Aubameyang's one. It says here, they report that Kai Havertz is happy playing for Potter but does not have faith in the Chelsea squad. The Blues could look to offload him following the signings of the other attackers, Mudryk and Midweeki and Nkuku. Forgotten man, Timio Bakayoko could also be on his way out 5 years after he last featured for Chelsea. Fucking unbelievable, isn't it? Crazy, guys. I think that's probably it, guys. I don't think there's anything else to report on. Let's have a look. Football London's just come out with this. Chelsea to battle with Liverpool for 42 million star as Boehly adds midfielder to his transfer shortlist. Nunes, Wolves midfielder, Tejas Nunes. He's the latest player to be linked to Chelsea in the January transfer window. The Blues have already strengthened their squad, blah, blah, blah. The Telegraph, this is, has reported that Nunes, who has been heavily linked with a move to Liverpool in recent times, is on a list of potential targets for Todd Boehly alongside Brighton stars Moises Caicedo, Everton's Amadou Onana and West Ham United's man Declan Rice. Chelsea are currently light of options in the middle of the park, with N'Golo Kante missing the majority of the season through injury, whilst Jorginho is widely expected to leave Stamford Bridge at the end of the current campaign, which I think he will do, to be fair. I think he will do. Nunes, who joined Wolves for 42 million last summer, has highlighted his desire to improve on the performances he put in during the first half of the season. In the coming weeks and months, speaking recently to Wolves' official website, the Portuguese international said, "I put more pressure on myself because I want to be the best, but I don't think I did enough. I have the hunger now to get to where I want to. I want to be better than I was in the last 6 months, and I think these first 6 months of 2023 are going to be better individually for me. I have that in mind, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to show that." I don't know, guys. You have to let me know what you think down below, guys. As I say, it's a precarious position right now, isn't it? You know, it just feels flat, doesn't it? You know, just feels flat. It's almost like we're just a complete mirror opposite to what we were as a football club 6, 7, 8 months ago. You know. But you have to say that Todd Boehly is fucking spending money. There's no two ways about it. He's definitely going for it. And the next 6 days are going to be incredible. Who do you think then, guys, we're going to end up getting? Do you think we're going to get another midfielder in? What do you think about Nunes? What do you think about that write-up and the fact that our total spend is going to be $1 billion? Do you think that's about right? Don't sound not right though, does it? I mean, if we're going to spend another 100 million on someone like, you know, Enzo, Declan Rice, it's all money, guys, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day. Anyway, let me know what you think down below, guys. And as always, much love. And if anything comes up during the course of the day, of course, I'll put something out. Much love and up the chills.